So there is no real synchronicity in the fact being that we each meet each other upon a path of life or a journey here on the earth because we are drawn to each other because we match that frequency or vibration. And it's because of that we intermingle and we source out projects and we source out a drive to enhance and bring about prosperity and abundance and good health in the lives of others. So this is where we're focused, and this is where we will stay pretty much. But we, as I have said, we are very, very open-minded, and as Teresa just said, we are very much metaphysicians in practice. So when you start talking metaphysics, then you open the door very, very wide because it includes numerous topics of spirituality and numerous topics of belief and numerous lineages and traditions that have been around, some for thousands of years and others only maybe for hundreds. It is the insights, and the goal in the center of all things is the inner development of the self. And when the self, becomes more aware and more sensitive, then in turn you are more aware of what is going on around you, not purely in a physical level, but also in an energetic level. And it's this energy, this consciousness that we share as a race of human beings that in turn creates our reality that we all experience and that we all partake in. And yet at the same time, we also co-create our own world, one could say, because we choose to some degree, how we relate to our families, how we relate to extended friends and extended families, because oftentimes you meet friends that resonate with you more readily than even your family members in blood do. So therefore, we are all one family, all one race, and we're on this journey together. And now we are versioning onto what you could call the age of Aquarius, which basically is the age of enlightenment, which mankind has been waiting for this moment, in a manner of speaking, for a very, very long time, because it is a jump or a leap in consciousness as well as a leap in faith to believe that, that there is a higher power than us. And in joining that higher power as co-creators, we then in turn can recreate, in a manner of speaking, what the earth once was and do away with all the pollution and the chaos that we currently deal with in our ergo system, one could say. And at the same time, we bring ourselves forward. And so there is much love, and we attempt to do away or resolve all that is negative and repel it from us and change it and transform it into something that is more benevolent in vibration and resonance. And as a result of that, we hope to join into a society that is love-driven, love-centered, and love-focused. And as a result of that, all things that are malevolent or evil or negative per se, energetically will in turn be transformed so that in turn it matches the frequency of ourselves and our group and our race, and in turn we can transform the entire planet. But yet at the same time we must all join in harmony, and this is something that has not been done for a very, very long time. Back to you, Teresa. Teresa, are you there?
Yes, I had to unmute. I had to wait for it to say unmuted. We're both muting to keep the sound down, but we make good radio, folks, and we put it out there. Fortunately, all the big companies are all working together now. Like I said, we have Blog Talk, part of VoxNest, part of Spreaker, part of iHeart. And so we have it overhead. So if you'd like to donate to what we're doing today, we're going to do our best to make sure that you all feel included in a level that you may or may not be aware of yet. But our country in America, where we're broadcasting from today, has a long history of groups, teams, religions, all the way back to where we founded this colony and this 13 states and to now 48 lower, and we have Alaska, and we have a lot of providences, and we have groups that really want to know that we're international now. So we are ACO International. You'll see ACO, a brand for many things that we do in healing, health, medical, spirituality, and pastors that have been called to be who we are now and to share what we have. And know that, please know, KNOW, that wisdom is obtained usually by many, 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 many lifetimes. So some of the old people that are walking the planet have learned the things that were presented to them by extraterrestrials or beings walking the earth just like Jesus did. They never stopped. It was simply that man was recording history as it occurred where they were. And those sages are the ones that did the scribing with their groups or cults or the Gnostics or whomever that kept those scribes alive at the time were in groups, tribes, teams, cultures, little towns, some that escaped from the big city were the main three of the world religions in the beginning, was way before the ones at the Mount that we cherish so much in Israel now, because I don't know if all of you saw the white light that shot up as extraterrestrial proof that all stars above, all immortals are still out there, and those that can see, see. Those that can hear, hear. And it's set up with the wisdom for those because we have various levels of immortal souls coming down to this reality or this planet. And in order to survive and to learn how to survive, not everybody understands the big picture or the big deal or a table deal that they were given. Some call it a contract. Others just call the all I am, as I left the all-knowing, all-seeing, all I am. I am a spark of the all I am and the resource that is. And those are the mysteries that all the world religions talk about in their own faith, denomination, world religions. And many world religions have come and gone on this planet because they outgrew their worthiness or their team, town, time, epic, age. And now that Richard and I are open source intelligence information officers for those above, we call the Allied Command Intergalactic Relations. We, as the ACIR security team, also work with what comes and goes as far as keeping the power of truth on the planet, regardless of what plate, what country that we divide ourselves by. We are all united in space in the place that we call the cosmos. So there are many galactic federation groups out there that claim their heritage or DNA, our historical culture from various planets. And many of you may be involved in knowing how to write books of such ancestry, heraldry, and that is great if you are called to do that. We have many jobs on the planet and off planet, and some of them are actually running the cosmos. And I hear a lot of thunder in my house has got really dark. So if I lose you, Richard, I'll call back in, or if I get dropped, because we never know due to the weather. But, this is the things that we don't control here. Now, some people do say our governments around the world have worked together and have some type of control over the weather, and that may or may not be true. We have not finding of facts to purport that other than what man has in order to research. And most of your researchers and educators of world knowledge are all controlled through institutions that are man-made. And this includes the empirical power of gods, kings, and queens, empirical empire. Many of you have seen Game of Thrones. Many of you know of the heraldry of those of the Rosicrucians that came to Pennsylvania in 1694, and many other groups besides that. And some of them even became Masons here, and that was a good thing because of the revolution and getting things started, including back in 1730. So there was a duke that came and granted Daniel Combe in New Jersey, one of the earliest known Masonic deputations, I guess, to reach American Grand Master of New York and New Jersey and Pennsylvania. And a lot of you feel like that those lodges are antiquated or groups because you've not been initiated in as a endorser, neophyte, or been asked to join. And I understand that. And this group that we're forming is not of the Mother Lodge or the Grand Lodge of England, but Masonic historian Albert McKay believes the lodges probably were existing much earlier back in the old country, but their records have been lost. Now, I've seen in many world religions, including those in America made by Joseph Smith, that he was a Freemason. He spoke of America colonies and the reason that they separated on their journey in Missouri and other places from New York across when he got golden plates from an angel was the fact that he took them, scribed them with two big jewels that he used, and like a breastplate, that his people are the people that he prophesied about as a prophet, and started a huge world religion. And you can see the big temples around the world. It's one of the fastest growing religions today, but some people call it a cult because they don't agree with exact Catholicism or exact Judaism, but I have been one and come and gone through one of many, including being a Baptist when I needed it and a Methodist when I needed it. I think that's the only three. Let's see, Baptist, Methodist, LDS. Yep, that's it. Then Ascension, because God called me when he called me back into, believe it or not, government service, because I believe that the extraterrestrials I work with of God, love, and light, and the Masonic order, I was told, would always provide protection for me if I needed it. So sometimes I wonder if those are our old Knights Templar and Men in Black, because I have a past memory of doing that type of work, heralding in the old onward Christian soldiers, which I sang as a child in the Baptist Church, Trinity Baptist Church in West Monroe, Louisiana, but I was christened. So I have been a Christian, as one might say, in human form in this reality as from birth. And I was a very guarded and loved child and very much protected. And when I died the first time, the Catholic Church was involved, and they wanted to know why I saw angels and wanted to know, and I'm sure it got reported up to the Pope. And then when I was married to a man later on in years, I get to sort of understand how all that works in that part of the reality of world religions. And my husband that's passed over, deceased, came down on a 20-year and back program in a group of beings, but his family didn't know, his human family, which I hope people can understand that as we speak as Ascension Prophets on the Supernatural Church in 2021, that we are enlightened with wisdom of our coming and going from this planet in various ways. The ascension process is the one Jesus taught, or Yeshua, or the man, whomever you want to call him, of the five Jesuses or more. And those stories, whether you've embraced them or not as your own history, heraldry, our root of your Christianity, that is up to you, each individual. However, because he has been in this reality one of the largest factors on the planet with extraterrestrials, he has created the first ascension portal in this time, or this epoch. That time is made by humans, because while we're here on Earth, we need a linear timeline to understand all that goes on in the cosmos. There's a cosmological order, and we have many, many beings that live for thousands of years. And those that came before were talked about, and there's been many debates over whether they're real, whether they're good, whether they're just anthology or they're theology, philosophical thought processes that catch on in a rhythm or an amalgamation of thoughts, words and deeds to become memories historically. And these are the thoughts that have been come up